Hey guys, in today's video I'll be talking about what's the best clipping software to use for gaming. I know I haven't posted in a while. This is because I've been really busy and sick, but now I'm back, so we should start posting again every Saturday at 1 p.m. East. But yeah, if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, as I will be posting more videos like this. Now before I show you guys the clipping softwares that are actually good and how to set them up, I just want to talk about the softwares that are trash and that you shouldn't use. One of them is Metal. I absolutely hate this thing with a passion. It's really trash. It has a ton of overlays. It's poorly optimized. I just hate it. I mean, the only thing good I see about this is probably the amount of features it has. So if you have a really good PC, I wouldn't mind if you were to use this if you're just a casual player, but as a competitive player and those looking for performance, don't download this garbage. Now, these two ways of clipping that I'm going to mention right now, I also don't recommend you use this for clipping your games. The first one is gamebar. You can have this on because it's interconnected with game mode and you would want that. But to use it for clipping softwares and taking screenshots and stuff, don't use it at all. It's not that good. And I don't even know why I have to mention this one. I've seen it a couple times, but don't use this garbage as well. I don't think I have to explain myself for this. Now, the next clipping software I want to talk about is nvidia Geforce Experience. Honestly, don't know why it gets so much hate. I guess it's because of the telemetry and stuff you have to get with the driver in order to actually have it. If you still want to strip your driver as well to get Geforce Experience, you can use nvcleanstall. I have the link to this in the Discord and the description below. It should be in the programs channel. But if you still want your driver to be stripped and also have Geforce Experience, just choose your driver. And then in here you're just gonna have to select all of this stuff in order to actually get it. The top things though, you can leave unchecked. You just have to make sure you have the display driver required. That's up right here. And then you can just download your driver as normal. Alright, now once you actually have Geforce Experience, what you want to do is go to the settings. And then here you could turn these two notifications off. And then you want to go over to in-game overlay. You want to have this checked. And then click settings. Once you're in here, you could go over to highlights. You want to make sure this is disabled because you don't want to be using highlights to clip things. Notifications, you want to turn all of them off. There's something else here too. Privacy control, you also want to make sure this desktop capture is disabled. And then you want to go over to video capture right here because you want to be using instant replay. You could set the replay length to whatever you want, so say 30 seconds. You can set the quality to custom, choose what type of quality you want, or just leave it to in-game. And same thing with frame rate, you want to record on 60 FPS. For bitrate, you could play around with this. I usually use 55, but usually the higher bitrate you go, the more size the video would take and the quality would change as well. But once you do that, you want to click back and then done. And then instant replay. Before you go into your game, you want to click on this and then click turn on. And then whenever you want to clip something, you could just click Alt F10 and it'll save it for you. Okay, now the next clipping software I want to talk about is OBS. It's way better than BandiCam and Metal if you don't have an nvidia GPU. If you want to be using this program, I really recommend as well that you have DDR4 tuned RAM or you have DDR5, as this clipping software is heavily RAM dependent. If you don't have good RAM, you'll notice that when you play and have it on, it might feel a little bit sluggish. So if that's the case, you know why. To actually set this up, you want to actually have your game capture and all of that set up as well. You don't want to be using display capture. If you're clipping a game, by the way, you always want to be using game capture. But to actually use the replay buffer, what you want to do is go to settings right here. Video, you can set this to whatever resolution and FPS you want, but the actual thing is in output right here. To get the replay buffer tab right here, you want to make sure your rate control is on CQP, and you also want to set these settings as well, as the replay buffer uses your recording settings. What I really recommend for the replay buffer for a CQ level, if you're going for performance, use something like 20 or above that. If you're really looking for quality, you could use something lower like 16 or 18. For tuning, you could set this to high quality. Preset, you can set it to good quality. Profile high. Psycho visual tuning, you don't have to have it on, but you can have it on if you want. GPU 0, max speed frames 2. Will give you some decent quality with some good performance. For recording path, this is where your clips are going to go, so you want to make sure you set this by clicking browse and then setting the folder. For recording format, I recommend MP4. For video encoder, you want to select your nvidia encoder if you have an nvidia GPU. If you have AMD, you might have something called AV1. You can test that out. I've heard that it's garbage. I've heard that it's also good, so see if it works good for you. If it doesn't, then you're just gonna have to use the CPU, which is some 264. But once you have all this set up, you want to go over to replay buffer. You want to click check enable replay buffer. Maximum replay time, you could set this to whatever you want. I have it on 30 seconds. Maximum memory, I have mine on 2048. You can also set this to 4096. You just don't want to set it too low to where you can't clip for the amount of time you set it as. Then once you do all this, you want to click apply right here. And what I recommend is setting a hotkey to save a replay. It's because when you actually go into a game, you're gonna have to click start replay buffer right here, and you don't want to like tab out every time to save a replay while you're in a game. So you want to go down to hotkeys right here and then game capture, well, not game capture, replay buffer right here, and then save replay. You want to set a hotkey for this. I have mine as Alt B. But once you do that, you want to click OK, and then before you go into your game, you just want to click start replay buffer, and then you can minimize OBS and then click whatever hotkey you have to actually save the clip. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it and want to hear more PC tips like this to get more performance and have a better gaming experience, make sure to like and subscribe and join my Discord as well if you want to give me any suggestions. It will be linked in the description below. But yeah, that's it for today. See you in the next one.